Today I'm gonna talk about praising system. Praising system, it can be impairing. When we deem someone else superior to us, then that person has to demonstrate skill that we seek after. For example, if I seek after being able to sustain body on two fingers of each hands, of each of the hands, I seek for a person who can already do so because I failed being able in a determined amount of time with all the means accessible to do so myself. That is an example. I'm not trying to do so, I'm just saying that is an example, okay? Do you understand the difference? The example that serves to extrapolate to apply to other cases. So to find someone to learn from a given skill. Skill is a skill that is unlike love, that serves to something else than procreation. Procreation is just having a life partner to have it easier. It's not a skill. That's it. Now, the same as family and all that is not a skill. This is something we are born with, just the same as dog, cat, bird, and we have right to it just like the rest. Skill, that is something to contribute to personal development, to be able to obtain a greatest possible survival at expense of none in the ecosystem, meaning giving self enough chances to do enough work so that others can enjoy as much life as possible. Now, skill again in praising system, to be able to use praises and accept praises, we need to choose when we have a given task. Again, an example is also, I want to learn speed reading. So I choose first books and I could not learn. So now I want to do so. So I found a person who says I can do so and is able to demonstrate it. So that person is better than me in a given skill and has methodology that I would like to learn. Excuse me. And that is when then that person is asked to teach having superiority. Again, this is not the same as having materials posted, books, videos. This is a video, for instance. That is something that someone can take and use. That's it. If that is enough, great. If not, one seeks for a master. Master is the person that's a source. Like I am a master in certain things. Seeks source to be able to learn. Without that person, then one fails, trying using all. And so that is, for instance, if I want to stand on two fingers of each hand and I cannot do it, I've tried everything, I want to find a person who can. So wow, I see a video, let's say that is a Buddhist nun, and she can do so 4 hours and it looks effortlessly. So now it is that I go and ask, may I have your attention? Would you be my teacher? And she agrees. And that from then she starts to explain in person what it is that I am supposed to do in person, giving me all of her attention and what it is that she wants in exchange. A master is the person who usually sees and understood that teaching another person is beneficial to them. When master achieved already a level in which the master have done so much work that all are safe, then that person is usually not necessarily interested in teaching and requires either an incentive from a person, which is money, or some sort of greater good that is not at fault of that master, asked as kindness, because that person usually have exhausted patience. I say have because there are many of those persons, and this is an example, such as an example with standing on two fingers or speed reading. There are many skills in this world. Okay, and so that person then can use praises in so-called ABA, which is a training that gives incentives similar to Pavlov's dog with treats. Each time, for instance, she stands on fingers and is in full lotus and I fail to do so, she ignores this. And each time I do so and I succeed, she gives me what I like most. Some call it a treat, some call it a compliment. That system is a system that is based on primal instinct to gain what is in supply around, which means food, and is per se reserved for children who are learning to gain nourishment. It is otherwise for adults a system impairing persons and adult animals, becoming obese and unfortunately protesting against being submissive. So that system is not the best. That is why we learn to not teach that way and also ask politely from beginning, please do not give me food or other incentives because I am not trying to gain with that skill a basic need nutrition. So standing on two fingers or reading is for, if I was for instance 2 or 3, for a person who runs around in the forest and is learning how to on all faith and instinct find mushrooms and find for instance berries, like I used to do with my mother or my aunt, my godmother, or my brother as well. And that is what an instinct is. And then it is, each time I do it right, I find a mushroom and I have food. And that immediate gratification is positive reinforcement, meaning it is okay to follow all faith and find it and know it is mine. And then also delayed gratification is when there are others, so I came with brother, mother, or whoever else, and there are others who I can share with, or later on with life partner, and impressed with the fact that I share, or I found something and I gave away to that person first, expecting that then that person puts their needs in front of mine. That is the adult type of relationship. Incentives or giving cookies or praise are demeaning, meaning that person is not trained to teach. So a person that possesses skill needs to know how to impart it, otherwise that person is better off just leaving teaching material and hope for the best or not teach. That is the same for children and especially adults that are, and animals as well, that are offended with food for doing a trick, because that is for not even a person or a monkey in a zoo, because that kills. We liberate in PETA, and also in humans we try to not to do it because we are not monkeys trained to perform. That is not how food is gained either, and that is that kills whoever does it and whoever forgives or keeps on doing so. So that is not what we do. Now that is first video. Those videos will be 2 or 3. The idea is that in Zen we learn a very important lesson. We do not offend people non-stop with giving praises to the inherent characteristics of a person, because that is like saying I find myself worthier to you to impart to you approval of how it is that you are, and then take offense in you doing so. That is an offense. So we don't do that. We don't say you are nice in work environment as recommendation letter. We don't compliment also good job. That is an offense as well. Good job, what gives you an authority to say so? What is, per your definition, a good job is per me an offense from you to even be able to impart that judgment, which is a surprise that you can actually have any judgment whatsoever, killing for instance. Which is why then taking a contract and again belonging to organization is personal lack of dignity that offends and breaks many friendships.